Okay.
So Vera, before we talk about social inclusion, let's talk about social inclusion in Brazil. What's the problem that we have to solve with social inclusion?
You know, there's many reasons, but Brazil is not a fair country. There's no social justice in Brazil. We are like the seventh economy in the world. We are a rich country.
And we're 73rd in social policy.
Exactly.
73rd. So 6th richest and 73rd in
that is terrible.
Yeah.
But in the same way, you know, there's something very interesting. The World Bank is considering Brazil as the country of social inclusion. Because we have for more than 500 years this division from rich, middle class, poor and miserable. Now many NGOs, many public policies, they want to address, you know, to fulfill the gap between the rich and poor.
And there's a lot of talk in Brazil right now in the media and policy about social inclusion. So there's this idea that we have to bring these two worlds together, and that it's not a public policy job, it's every individual's job, right? So we have this, like here in Rio, it always amazes me how it stares you in the face. You've got rich and you've got misery living together. So you hardly can't not talk about it here in Rio.
And because our culture all over the world, not only in Brazil, is very materialistic. Everybody talk about the new car they bought, you know, the new clothes they bought. We didn't realize the real concept of richness. You know. In my opinion, richness is inner strengthness, and that's not very used to see. You know, and how we go to have inner strengthness. This is a process.
And it's not just about helping people in misery, right? So, you know, when we talk to Martina, the student, she's trying to find a social model where students who are partying and going to school find a way to use their passion to connect for a purpose, to find a purpose. And then, you know, here the volunteers get as much purpose and benefit as the people being served, right? So that's what it's about too.
Yes, and when you think about, you know, you think about to promote social inclusion, you think about to promote the life of the poor.
Yeah.
But I have the view that we have to promote the life of the rich people.
Yeah.
You don't have a, you know, objective in life. I think you are poor, no matter how much money you have.
But if Brazil doesn't solve this problem, you know, 180 million people in Brazil, 30% of them are in very poor social circumstances. It's really an imperative for the survival of the country. And
Exactly.
it's not one area's job to fix this. It's not the government, it's not the private sector, it's not the NGOs. It's literally every one of these 180 million people needs to understand this.
And the richness of Brazil, there's some states in Brazil, they know as the government promote social inclusion. So I met a man that works in the World Bank, that he says when he had a problem, a huge problem regarding poverty, he didn't go to Africa. He came to Belo Horizonte because Belo Horizonte has the problem and the solution.
Yeah.
So there are some places, I think it was because of that, they conclude that Brazil is the country about social, that people want to learn about social inclusion.